Hello everyone. Today I am going to present a seminar on malignant melanoma. The learning objectives for today is how to define malignant melanoma and understanding its clinical significance, describe the etiology and risk factors associated with malignant melanoma, pathogenesis of malignant melanoma, gross features, microscopic features, and even appreciate the importance of early diagnosis based on the pathological findings. So, etiology of malignant melanoma, mainly it is due to three triggers, that is the environmental, phenotypic and genomic. In environmental factors, these are the external factors which increase the risk, in which the first one is intermittent severe UV exposure, that is getting intense sunlight occasionally, especially during childhood, carries the highest risk. Then there is artificial UV light from tanning beds, also increase the higher risk. Both UVA and UVB rays damage the DNA of melanocytes, pigment producing cells, which can lead to cancer. So in simple way, we can say that too much UV radiation leads to DNA damage and it causes melanoma. Then there is phenotypic factors, in which there is Fitzpatrick skin types 1 and 2, that is very fair skin, red or blonde hair or freckles, have less protective melanin, leading to more UV damage can occur easily. Then there is having many moles, that increase the risk about 7 times because each mole contains melanocytes that can become cancerous. Then there is genomic factors, that is CDKN2A gene mutation. This gene normally stops damaged cells from growing. When mutated, damaged melanocytes can multiply uncontrollably. CDK4 mutation causes cell to divide more than they should. And then there is familial typical multiple mole melanoma, FAMMM syndrome, an inherited condition where people have many unusual moles and a very high risk of melanoma. So there's a simple way to remember is faulty genes lead to loss of growth control and leading to melanoma. Then let's get to the ABCD criteria for melanoma, in which A, that is the asymmetry where one half does not match the other. Then there is border, irregular notch or blurred edges, color, different shades of color such as brown, black, blue or red. Then there is diameter, that is if there is greater than 6 millimeter, evolving if there is rapid enlargement into new symptoms. And about the ugly duckling sign, every person has moles that usually look similar. If one mole looks different from the others, it is called as the ugly duckling sign. This is unusual mole, which is more likely to be a melanoma. This shows the main histological subtypes of malignant melanoma. There is superficial spreading melanoma, 70%. It is the most common. Causes are intermittent sun exposure. Occasional intense UV exposure like sunburn can develop de novo or normal skin or from pre-existing nevus mole. Common sites, men in the upper back and women in the legs. Nodular melanoma. Nodular melanoma, there is key features would be there it is 5% of melanoma. It constitutes about 5% of melanoma's most aggressive subtype appears as raised dark colored nodule. Growth pattern, it is little or no growth, radial growth phase. It shows vertical growth phase. Whereas there is lentigo maligna melanoma, which occurs in about 4 to 15 cases of melanomas, occurs due to chronic sun exposure, usually affects the elder people. The growth pattern is usually it is confined to epidermis only, has a very prolonged radial growth phase which before it becomes invasive. It is good prognosis if it is treated early. Then there is acral lentiginous melanoma. About 5% of melanomas are constituted due to acral lentiginous, not related to sun exposure, occurs on hairless skin, that is palms, soles or under the nails, most common in non-white population. Then there is the crucial tipping, that is radial versus vertical growth. The radial growth phase direction is usually horizontal. Location, it occurs within the epidermis or superficial dermis. Metastasis is usually absent and blood vessels have little or no angiogenesis. Whereas in vertical growth phase, the direction is downward invasion into deeper layers. It is highly mitotically active, expansile, acquires metastat and has metastatic potential, cellular nature, emergence of new maturation. Then stepwise morphological development of malignant melanoma. First in the A, we can see that it has normal skin, only scattered single melanocytes are present. In B, due to UV damage or genetic mutations, melanocytes start increasing in number. They are still confined to the basal layer. C, that is dysplastic nevus, that is the atypical mole. The melanocytes form abnormal nests, that is the clusters are formed. Then the cells are large and irregular. The skin architecture becomes distorted. This is called as precancerous lesion. Melanoma in situ, that is D, is rapid. There is radial growth phase where cancer cells are present, limited to the epidermis. They spread horizontally. They do not invade deeper tissues, so they cannot metastasize at this stage. E, there is invasive melanoma. Cancer cells break through the basement membrane and enter the dermis. They grow downward vertically. They can now enter blood vessels and lymphatics, allowing metastasis to lymph nodes and distant organ. Routes of dissemination and metastasis of malignant melanoma. There are two main routes of spread. There is lymphatic spread and then there is hematogenous spread. In lymphatic spread is the earliest route. The first and most common route of spread. Melanoma cells enter the lymphatic vessels. They reach the sentinel lymph node, which first lymph node drains the tumor. If untreated, they spread to other lesional lymph nodes. Small deposits of tumor between primary tumor and the lymph node are in transit metastasis. So in simple, melanoma goes to lymphatic vessels, then to sentinel lymph node and then to the other lymph nodes. Then next is hematogenous spread, that in advanced disease, melanoma cells enters the blood vessels. The blood carries them to distant organs, causing distant metastasis. Common site of metastasis are skin and subcutaneous tissue. Most common site of local or distant skin deposits. Lungs, one of the most common distant site. Liver, frequently involved. Brain, partially common and dangerous. Brain metastasis are major cause of death in melanoma. Bone and intestines, in gastrointestinal tract can also be affected. Why brain metastasis is common? Because melanoma cells have high tendency to spread to the bloodstream and cross into the brain, making brain metastasis relatively common and has very poor prognosis. This is where we can know we can see the prognosis based on the severity of the malignant melanoma. The most important prognostic factor, breast law thickness and ulceration are two important factors determining the survival. Favorable prognosis, better survival. Breast law thickness is less than 1 millimeter. The tumor is thin. It has not invaded deeply. Better prognosis. Then female sex. Women generally have slightly better survival than male. Young age. Younger patients tend to respond better to the treatment. Extremity of the location, melanoma on the arms or legs have better prognosis than on the head, neck or trunk. Robust tumor infiltrating lymphocytes, these are immune cells, lymphocytes attacking the tumor. Their presence means the immune system is fighting the cancer, hence it is for better prognosis. Whereas poor prognosis, that is worse survival, when breast loss thickness is greater than 1 millimeter, the tumor is deeper, greater chance of metastasis and has poor prognosis, and there is high mitotic rate. The cancer cells are rapidly dividing, indicates a more aggressive tumor. Then there is ulceration. The skin covering the melanoma is broken or lost, indicates more aggressive cancer and worse outcome. Are in greater than 75% tumor regression or it is complete. Most tumor has disappeared due to immune response. However, this can hide the original tumor thickness and metastasis may have already occurred. Therefore, extensive regression is considered a poor prognostic sign. Male sex and older age associated with poorer survival. Head, neck or trunk location. Melanomas in these areas have behaved more aggressively and than those on the limbs. Elevated serum LDH or low albumin level. High LDH suggests that extensive tissue damage or widespread metastatic disease, whereas low albumin reflects poor general health or advanced cancer. Both indicate poor prognosis. Here, what is breast loss thickness? It is nothing but the depth of melanoma measured in millimeters from the top of the epidermis to the deepest invading melanoma cell. It is the most important prognostic factor in localized melanoma. Gross features of malignant melanoma. Appearance. First, it presents as dark brown to black pigmented skin lesion. Sometimes it may be blue, grey or even non-pigmented. Shape. It is an asymmetric lesion. That is, the one half does not match the other half. Borders. It is irregular borders, uneven and poorly defined margins are present. Color variegated, that means multiple colors within the same lesion are present. It can be black, brown, blue, red, white. White as in the areas of regression. Size is usually more than 6 mm in diameter, may continue to enlarge over time. Surface may be raised, nodular, ulcerated, bleeding, crusting may be present in advanced lesion. Consistency, it is firm and palpation. Depth, in advanced melanoma, tumor extends into dermis and subcutaneous tissue. Hence, in summary, we can say that grossly, malignant melanoma appears as asymmetrical, irregularly bordered pigmented skin lesion with variegated colors such as brown, black, blue, red or white. It is usually more than 6 mm in diameter and may become raised, nodular, ulcerated or can even bleed. In advanced cases, it evades the deeper dermis and subcutaneous tissue. Microscopy. First, we can see the atypical melanocytes. The tumor is composed of atypical melanocytes. Cells are large, pleomorphic, vary in size with hyperchromatic nuclei and prominent nucleoli. Then there is pigmentation present. Tumor cells with brown black melanin pigment is present in the cytoplasm. Some melanomas may have little or no pigment, a melanotic melanoma. Then there is radial growth phase, in which malignant melanoma spread horizontally along the dermis and dermoepidermal junction. They may show pagetoid spread, melanocytes scattered upward through the dermis. Vertical growth phase, tumor cells invade the dermis, may extend into the subcutaneous tissue, forms nests or sheets of malignant melanocytes. Then there is increased mitotic activity, frequent sometimes atypical mitotic figures can appear, indicate rapid tumor growth. And there is ulceration, overlying epidermis may be ulcerated, which is associated with poor prognosis. Lymphovascular invasion, tumor cells may be seen invading lymphatic or blood vessels, indicating metastatic potential. Hence, we can say that malignant melanoma is composed of atypical melanocytes with pleomorphic hyperchromatic nuclei and prominent nuclei. The cells contain variable amounts of melanin pigment. Initially, they spread horizontally among the epidermis, radial growth phase, with pagetoid spread, and later invade the dermis and subcutaneous tissue, that is vertical growth phase. Frequent mitotic figures, ulceration, lymphovascular invasion may also be seen. Hence, the key points to remember is atypical melanocytes, pleomorphism, hyperchromatic nuclei, melanin pigment, pagetoid spread, radial growth phase, horizontal growth, vertical growth phase, frequent mitosis, ulceration, and lymphovascular invasion. Thank you.